really good to be out there. And our guys have had a great off season this winter. Always the first practice. There's good and bad, but there was more good today than there has been the last couple of years on our first spring day. So excited about that. Certainly we're thin at quarterback. Those guys got a lot of repetition and they've got ability, but we're going to need to refine that. But they certainly have ability. Really pleased with how our running back situation looked while we were just, in jerseys today. Brian's up to over 220 pounds and looks really lean and running well. And so I think he can probably even add some more lean muscle mass. And it was great to have Sean Wick out there. It's been a long time since he's been out there. And so pleased with that. I think our secondary moved around better. Davion Freeman had a really good pick, which was encouraging to see him. He's a guy that we redshirted last year, and thought Andrew Wingert is moving around well. We're trying to find a will linebacker, working through that spot. But Lucas Walker looks pretty well. So anyhow, that being said, I'll open up to questions.
Greg, even though you mentioned you only got 2 quarterbacks in the spring, that can only help them with those reps, or is that a concern with only 2 guys to get all of those reps this spring?
As long as they don't get hurt. No, that's going to help them. And we'll get into a lot of times we divide our teams up, so we're doing double reps there. So in fact, they're getting every rep. And there's nothing, you can be in a film room so long, you can throw 7-on-7 so much till you actually get into the 11-on-11 work where you're having to change protections and move your feet and make the right calls. Those plays that they're getting the repetition is really going to help.
I know it's been a while since November, and you'd said that this is maybe better than you've had in starts as far as the last couple of years. Is coming off a win, did that help things going in the offseason?
I think certainly winning at the end does, but there's been such a long time. Young people, they pretty much live in the moment, and there was a really good attitude. I think beyond the win, just a resolve that we want to be better. Last year was unacceptable around here. It was unacceptable for me. It's unacceptable for those players. And for them, it was great to win at the end. I think it showed that our guys stayed in the fight. But there's also a mark there that this is a really good league. And the level of commitment and the execution to be able to play and win at this league is high. And the bar's got to be raised. And so I think that probably added more than anything else. I thought, like I said, the off-season workout has been exceptional, and it carried through today.
Greg, you moved your 2 tackles, Ryan and Zach. You swapped them. Some of the reasoning behind that, or was there a lot of reasoning, or what
No, there's a lot of reasoning. Anytime you move those guys around, as we look at how we're made, some of our primary plays are power play. So you like a certain guy pulling, and you like movement on one other side. I think there's some real things that Zach is very talented. Zach's game, he's up to 295, and last year 265, but he's a really good pass blocker, and that's one of the things you look for on the left side. Who's going to be your best guy in a one-on-one, because a lot of times he's going to be one-on-one. So today we took a look at it, and we'll look at it on film. But from my eyes, we liked what we seen.
Too at center, with Charlie at least certainly going to be limited. You got, some walk-ons, and Darian Epson's a kid from Cheyenne who's been a walk-on the entire time, was defensive lineman, and now going to be taking a lot of reps. How important could he be for you this spring, and even maybe building some depth at that center position going into the season?
There's no. I shouldn't say there's no position that's not open, but we're going to take a hard look at Darian, and Boyd's playing there too, but we'll see how Charlie comes around. And Ryan's always been a guy who loves football, does whatever it takes. Has been on the scout team, and this is what stories are made of sometimes.
So Tanner Gentry back out there, and obviously he had an exceptional start to last season before the injury came about. What's the excitement like having him back and healthy?
Well, beyond the excitement, and there's excitement in having him back, there's just experience. He's played a lot of football and played at a high level, so it's been good to have him out there. Also with the addition of Mike Grant. Mike and I worked together back in 1995 at the University of Nebraska, and having an experienced receiver coach out there, there's a lot more stability. And that's really going to serve us well, and so it's great to have both Tanner and Jake out there.
Craig, I know it's just the first day, but we've talked about Jalen Ortiz, your transfer
Yep.
from UCLA, who sat out. You know, do you have an idea where he may fit in? I know I've been told he could, you know, he's a safety. He may get a look at corner. He could be a nickel. Where do you think?
I think it's going to be more along the lines of safety and nickel. He's a smart guy. He runs well. You know, he's physical. And so in our league where we get spread out, you know, DJ May's an excellent nickel, but you're going to need two guys, so we're going to double train him there.
Coach, another guy today who looked really good was Josh Harshman. Had several catches.
There you go, right there. He did. Josh Harshman did well, and Josh is a guy that we played last year. He's still a little bit light, but you know, he plays big and he plays hard and he's smart. He's a coach's kid, and it was great to see him go out there and mix it up and make some plays.
So what's next, Craig? I mean, just second one. I don't even know when you get into pads on the fourth practice or third.
We get a practice pads on the third, which will be this Saturday.
This Saturday. So just more the same Thursday. Just continuing to just get into spring, get things down, or
Yeah,
what's next?
No,
I guess?
what's next is we're going to continue to install elements of our offense, defense, and kicking game. You know, we were pretty basic on defense today. We had a zone and a man in. We'll add some more there. We didn't have a lot of formations and sets, but we'll continue to feed those guys. And, you know, that's going to be important for our quarterbacks. Nick played quite a bit last year, but he's still young. Josh hardly played at all, and so it's going to be important for them. So we'll continue to install and add our offense, defense, and kicking game.
Coach, you mentioned that you have to fill the quarterback role, but also in losing Cam, you guys kind of lost kind of a big leader for the team. Do you see anybody stepping up in that role?
Yeah, we certainly do. You know, this offseason has been really exceptional as far as developing leadership. On defense, I think Lucas Waka is really coming around, and offensively, Brian Hill is he's a vocal guy that has played a lot of football, that has got a high level of commitment and very competitive also. Chase Roulier's really done a great job there. So our leadership in the locker room, I see it, and that's all part of year three. It's all part of changing a culture, more guys being committed. What you're seeing is sometimes when if there's a lack of effort, you're not seeing so much the coach right away jumping on it. You're seeing the older players saying, hey, get to the football. And those are steps as a seasoned coach that I've seen through the past where you build a program. So we're happy with that.